was backstage, I was made aware of an octogenarian in the audience called Abraham. Where are you, Abraham? How you doing, sir? You all right? Hanging in there? That's right. That's right. You give that man a round of applause. He's lived through 2 fucking centuries. I felt some of you were being kind of patronizing about Abraham. You don't know that he was born throughout a war, okay? That's a real fucking man there. You know what it was like being born in the 30s? All men had was penny loafers and Tommy guns and sheepskin condoms. And that's if you could get a hold of a sheepskin condom in those days. When it needs to get a hold of birth control. And even if you got an STD, you had to like drink a Bovril with some whiskey in it and walk it off. That's right, that's a real man right there. Men of his generation were fucking during the war. You know how hard it is to have an erection during an air raid? That's a real man right there. Anyway, I should do some topical stuff. It's the season after all. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, have a great Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate, even if you believe in a spaghetti monster, that's absolutely fine. Because it seems nowadays a lot of people get offended about the idea that Christmas isn't that emphasized nowadays. A lot of Christians have become very upset. They think this country is being overrun. Like, we can't even celebrate Christmas. You can't have a nativity anymore. Muslims are coming in. It's gone fucking mental. Now, first of all, we know that's inaccurate. The Muslim community is essential for Christmas because how the fuck are you getting home if there aren't people there to drive Ubers for you? And some of you will forget something on Christmas Day. You better be lucky someone follows a different God to keep that shop open so you can get some fucking milk and Christmas breakfast isn't ruined. That's right. I embrace all religions. I believe in everything. And if you're honest with yourselves, it is best to embrace every religion because wherever you are, Muslim, Jewish, Christian, we all are chasing the same thing. Getting time off during the Christmas period. Whether you believe in Allah or Jesus, you don't want to fucking work. That's the main thing. Me personally, I will be whatever religion gives me more annual leave. I'm telling you, when it's Eid, oh man, salam alaikum. When it's Christmas, salami wrapped in bacon. I don't give a fuck. I just want to go to work. There's been a lot of controversy about the whole, there's been a decline in Christian membership in the United Kingdom. Well, white Christians seem to be going to church a lot less, whereas black membership is going up. Now, if you're a white person in this audience and you weren't raised in the church, I understand why you might have moved away from religion. Now, myself, I was raised as a Catholic, and we all know the controversy there. We don't need to go into it. We all know. But let's not forget, there are still some advantages to being a member of the Catholic Church. Alcohol in our place of worship. Yeah. Also, a ban on condoms. Or at least some sun, that's pretty much Love Island right there. That's all I'm saying. Come to the Catholic Church where we are barebacking for Jesus. That's right. That is right. That's how we do it. But now, the thing is, I was raised in churches, and I'll be honest, I prefer going to white churches than black churches. Not that I don't like being in black churches, but I just don't like the black church scheduling. I like white church scheduling. That shit starts at 10 a.m., finishes at 11 a.m. sharp. You get a biscuit and a cup of squash, then you go the fuck home. There is no time for small talk. How's your nan? I don't give a fuck. We're going Harvester. And I like that. Black churches are way too spiritual. They take way too long. I can't be there all fucking day. I got stuff to do. My Instagram won't upload pictures itself, will it? That being said, there are some great things about going to a black church. The main thing for me would be the gospel music. I don't care if you're religious or not. If you hear some good gospel music, that can elate anybody's spirit and make you feel better about yourself. Now, the thing about white gospel music is that if there's one person singing in a choir, oh, that sounds wonderful. That's like a Christmas miracle. You hear one white choir boy singing, you're like, let me give some money to Great Ormond Street right now. This is beautiful. Goddamn right, Percy. All for the wings of a motherfucking dove. Sing your heart out, boy. Whereas if there's more than 3 white people singing in a choir, you don't know if the devil or Jesus is going to show up. Because for some reason, whenever you watch horror films and some bad shit's going to kick off, you start hearing white choirs singing, Santos, Dominos, what the fuck is going on? Has someone been possessed? One of the things I enjoy most about Christmas is, well, I used to work in Iceland because, you know, I had a life before this. And I liked working in Iceland, but in Iceland, they have like really weird concoctions for Christmas time. Like one time they had something called a 5-bird medley. And it was like a turkey stuffed with a goose, stuffed with a chicken. I think there's like a hamster in the middle. Like, I don't know why they did this shit. But it's tough, man, to imagine that there are some families with an Iceland meal for their Christmas dinner. And sometimes I used to wish I was a fly on the wall when they used to gather around the table and our family would hold hands and say grace and be like, fuck me, we are poor, man. What the fuck is going on here, man? There's a hamster in the middle of this shit. This government's got to change, man. Things couldn't get any worse. Song tools. So, I know Christmas is kind of a big thing over here, but I know there's some Americans in the audience, and a lot of the time, Thanksgiving's like a bigger deal over there, right? Yeah, people care more about Thanksgiving than Christmas, which I understand is all well and good. The thing about Thanksgiving, if you don't know, takes place in November, and it's normally followed by Black Friday, right? Yeah, now, Black Friday does not mean a bank holiday for my people. Lord knows we've earned one. But yeah, basically, Black Friday is normally characterized by massive slashing in prices. And you'll always know it's Black Friday because in your WhatsApp group, you'll get a viral video of someone having their head stamped on for a flat screen TV. Because people in America go fucking crazy for bargains. And normally, at least on average, once a year, someone dies during a Black Friday stampede. Which is bad, but you know what's worse? Having to give a eulogy at someone's funeral when they died trying to get bargains. Like, I might do this for a living, but that's a very hard speech to begin. Like, how do you do, like, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming at this very sad time. Jenny loves shoes. Some would say too much. Well, they say the devil wears Prada. Let's hope Jesus wears the Jordan 4, because that's what she died for. We're gonna miss you, Jenny. And now let's send Jenny to the other side, the only way we know how. Song tools. Jenny is not going to heaven. I say that because, you know, people, whenever you do comedy, people go, oh, it's so hard speaking in public. It must be really hard speaking in public. And it can be tough sometimes. Yes, we are heroes. We don't wear capes. But there are some instances where I know that I've been lost for words. And I'm going to give you an example, and I just want to tell you a story. I'm not sure if you'll think this story is funny, but, you know, you take it however you choose. All right. So, I have a friend who has a brother who has a best friend. And that is far enough of a separation for you to believe it's not me. So, this guy used to work in finance, made a good living, and he went on holiday to Thailand. And while he was in Thailand living his best life, he chanced upon 2 lovely women or sex workers, and he brought them back to his hotel room. And during this encounter, he realized that he'd been using the wrong pronouns the whole time. Yeah. He was looking for some clams and he got a sausage. And which, you know, is absolutely fine. You do whatever floats your boat. Understandably, he was surprised, and I think he tried to get these ladies to leave. A scuffle ensued, and he fell off the balcony to his death. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how the fuck you explain that at a funeral. Because it's funny, but I'm not sure if it's that funny. Like, what do you say? Jimmy loved dudes. Some would say too much. I don't know. I just chose to leave that alone. Anyway, allows me to segue nicely into some material about dating. How many people here are on a date? Yeah. Have you guys been getting a hard time about your date? I'm gonna leave you guys alone. Because your eyes said, please, sir, I can take no more. I'm gonna give you a hard time, sir. Look, you came, sat at the front, shows you've got a sense of humor. He's a laid-back guy. That alone is a green flag. Now, me personally, I'm happy to be at the dating game, and I never really like the dating game that much anyway. Now, I'm not sure, anyone here do online dating? Yeah, thank you for being honest. The rest of you are a bunch of fucking liars, but whatever. Now, the thing is about the dating game is that I don't really believe that any of these dating apps want you to find love. Because if you think about it, that would be a terrible business model. If you found love the first time round, you wouldn't need to go back on an app, and they wouldn't make any money. So it's probably more likely that they suggest to you poor matches, so you have to go back and continue giving the most valuable data you can, your heart's desire, which they can sell to data houses and make money off your literal heart and soul. Yeah. Now, knowing that means you can avoid fucking up when you date. Saying it out loud on a date means no one calls you back. So, now one of the reasons I don't like dating, especially in London, is because we have a very materialistic dating culture here. And are you guys familiar with the term booty call? Yeah. Well, I learned about a new trend, which is a foodie call. Now, you can hear some of the women are already laughing because they know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, if you don't know, basically a foodie call is a new trend where some women will only go on a date with a guy if he's taken her to a plus restaurant. True story. One of my friends was like, Dane, I'm going out with this guy. I don't really like him that much, but we're going to Hakkasan and a girl's gotta eat. That's right, ladies. Yuck it the fuck up. Now, my job on this stage is to observe, never to judge. But I gotta say, ladies, there seems to be a double standard there. I'm not the perfect man, but I know something. I would never go for drinks with a woman I wasn't attracted to. I would drink until she became attractive. That's what you do when you're a man. Old Adele, new Adele, all right. You don't know who Adele I'm talking about. I'm just saying, you know, I know that a lot of the time we live in a patriarchy and men get to do a lot of things that women don't get to do. But I'll be honest, when you are a cisgender heterosexual man, very rarely are you offered a free meal with the possibility of some sex afterwards. You know what I have to do to get a free meal and maybe get fucked afterwards? Go to prison, and I'm not going to prison. Stereotype don't help this act at all. It's just a lot of effort. Thank you, brothers in the corner. Thank you. Now, I'm just saying, ladies, and I haven't come out here to mansplain to you, but a lot of time, men are stigmatized as being the superficial and shallow ones. But there are some instances where I have found that women are much more shallow than men. But like I said, I'm not gonna come out here and mansplain. I wouldn't dare. But I would like to ask the women in this room a question, and I would appreciate an honest answer. Because last time I went to the dentist, I read a Woman's Own magazine, and it said, women like honesty. It also said, I much prefer fucking my stepson than my husband, but that was the front page story. Anyway, I want to check in first. Ladies, would you say in 2022 that's correct, that you still appreciate honesty? Yeah. Are you sure? Because there's a very nuanced version of honesty that women believe in. And what that means is, they'll say something, they say like, be honest. But what they mean is, I'm gonna ask you a question. And if I don't get an answer that pleases me, oh, there'll be trouble. I know this because I went on a date recently, because I'm a player, I guess. I went to a lady's house for dinner, and she said, Dane, I've made dinner, try it, tell me what you think, be honest. And I said, are you sure? And she said, of course I'm sure, Dane. You know I love you. So I tried said food, and I was like, this food is delicious, although could use a little less salt. And she said, who the fuck do you think you are? I spent all day in my house where I pay the fucking bills, making you food, and you got the nerve to come in my home where I pay the fucking mortgage to insult my cuisine. Get the fuck out my house. And you know me, I'm a man. I was like, hey, why don't you calm down, mum? You keep this shit up. I'm not coming back, okay? Can't be talking to me any crazy way. I'm a man now. Not in Iceland anymore. So now that we have that context, ladies, I'd like to ask you all a question. Keeping in mind, my job on this stage is to observe, never to judge. So, to the wonderful women in this room, and by the way, you've been amazing, let me ask you, just by show of hands, how many women in this room right now, honestly, would be with a man 6 inches shorter than they are? Some of them are laughing from the disgust already. I have one coerced hand. All right, that's right, she's put out with some pride. Nice, nice. So that's 2. I can see him, you're not taller than him. No hypotheticals, lady. I believe you're a nice person already. So that brought us to a grand total of 3. 3.5. And her hand is still up. All right, madam, I believe you, I believe you. And that's nice that there's one woman who's a lot less shallow than the rest of you. Now, ladies, I told you that I promised I wouldn't judge. And I understand a lot of the time that, you know, there's a biological aspect. You want to have tall offspring, because then that makes it more likely that they'll be able to reproduce. I get that. But then some women are like, well, I like having a big, strong man because he keeps me safe. I argue with that because we live in London and you can get guns and knives anywhere. So, and that's just more body to stab. So, I don't see the big deal. And this might be, again, one of the only double standards that women have over men. Like, women can discriminate against short men. And also, women can talk about bisexual experiences and the outcome is positive. Because we live in a society where even though we're a bit more liberal, like, we're cool with women experimenting sexually, men not so much. Like, as a woman, you can be on a date and be like, you know, university was fun. I studied biochemistry. I played varsity netball. And once in a game of truth or dare with my netball teammates, I went down on one of my friends for like 2 seconds. And a guy would be like, this is the best fucking story I've ever heard. Men can't really do that in our society yet. You can't be like, yeah, you know, university was fun. Studied chemistry, played a bit of rugby, and as part of my initiation, I had to suck my friend's dick for 2 seconds. Because everyone will be like, I'm sorry, sir. Are you sure you have the right dating app on your phone? Because, you know, most of us know that, like, Grindr is predominantly for homosexual men. Tinder is predominantly for heterosexual couples, and lesbians have Just Eat. They don't, but they should. They fucking should. Why can't lesbians have something? And the other thing that, you know, women can do that men can't do, like I said, is, you know, talk about, like, you know, discriminate against short partners. Like, if you're a woman and you're 5'1", and you're gonna date with a 6'4" guy, nobody cares. That's a win. The next day when you're having brunch with your friends, everyone's like, hey there, girl, how'd the date go last night? And you'll be like, it went pretty well. We finally made love. And he picked me up while he was inside of me. And everyone be like, oh my God. Susan, you saucy minx. And if you don't know, fellas, that's how women call each other sluts, but in solidarity. Susan, you are so saucy, you spicy minx. You go, girl. Short men do not get that same kind of love. If you're a 5'5" man, you go on a date with a 5'8" lady, the next day you be chilling out with your friends, they're like, hey there, Rob, how'd the date go last night? He'd be like, yeah, it went all right, you know, we finally did the deed and she picked me up while I was inside. I'm sorry, Rob, what the fuck did you just say? Why, Rob, were you fucking roofied? Were you thirsty? Did she give you some breast milk? Where'd you meet her, Rob? WrestleMania? What the fuck is wrong with you? Just saying. It's a bit tougher for short men. Anyway, before I go, if you do have social media, then feel free to add me on all your good socials. I have some content on there that's free, but I had to tell you at the end because otherwise you wouldn't come and see us. But yeah, this happy holidays. Have a great Christmas if I don't see you, or wherever you celebrate. And yeah, thank you very much. I'll catch you guys in the new year. My name has been Dane Baptiste. You've been amazing. Bye, everybody.